Welcome to the Undercover Insights channel. Today I'm going to tell you about the story. An unsuspecting pilot faces a shocking confrontation with a power-hungry security officer who questions his legitimacy. But when the truth is revealed, the officer's world flips upside down. This jaw-dropping story of prejudice, justice, and resilience will leave you speechless. Stay tuned to uncover the moment that changed everything. The bustling Los Angeles International Airport, a constant symphony of hurried footsteps, muffled announcements, and the hum of conversations, mirrored the energy of the city itself. Amid the chaos, Captain Elijah Eli Rivers, a 52-year-old African-American aviation expert, calmly navigated the crowded terminal. Dressed in a casual button-down shirt and jeans, Eli blended seamlessly with the sea of travelers. To most, he was just another passenger. Yet, few knew he was en route to deliver a keynote speech at a prestigious aviation summit, a testament to decades of groundbreaking work in aviation safety and inclusivity. As Eli approached a restricted access corridor leading to the pilot's lounge, Officer Gary Whitman, a stocky man in his late 40s with a reputation for aggressive profiling, stepped forward, blocking his path. His piercing gaze swept over Eli with barely veiled suspicion. "Excuse me, sir," Whitman said, his voice cold and clipped. "This is a restricted area. Passengers aren't allowed beyond this point." Eli offered a polite smile and reached into his pocket, pulling out his airline ID. "I'm Captain Elijah Rivers. I'm heading to the crew lounge to prepare for a presentation." Whitman's eyes narrowed as he scrutinized the badge. His lips curled into a smirk. "This doesn't look official. Where'd you get it? A novelty shop?" Eli's calm demeanor didn't waver. "Officer, I've been a pilot for over 25 years. If there's a problem, feel free to verify my credentials with airport administration." Whitman crossed his arms, his posture screaming hostility. "You expect me to believe that? You don't look like any pilot I've ever seen." A murmur rippled through the nearby crowd as travelers began to notice the confrontation. Phones were discreetly raised, capturing the escalating tension. Among the onlookers was Melanie Carter, an investigative journalist known for her exposés on systemic racism. She immediately recognized Eli, having interviewed him for a feature on diversity in aviation. Sensing the gravity of the situation, she stepped forward. "What's going on here?" Melanie demanded, her voice sharp enough to cut through the tense air. Whitman's expression hardened. "Just handling a security situation, ma'am. This man claims he's a pilot, but his story doesn't add up." Melanie's eyebrows shot up in disbelief. "Claims? Officer, do you have any idea who this is?" Whitman's bravado faltered for a moment. "Should I?" "This is Captain Elijah Rivers," Melanie declared, her tone firm. "He's one of the most respected figures in aviation. He's revolutionized safety protocols and received national awards for his contributions to the industry. If anyone belongs here, it's him." The crowd gasped, whispers spreading like wildfire. Whitman's face flushed, but he doubled down. "I'll be the judge of that. Until then, he's not going anywhere." Before the confrontation could escalate further, Airport Director Sarah McAllister arrived, alerted by the growing commotion. A tall, authoritative woman in her 50s, Sarah's sharp eyes took in the scene immediately. "Captain Rivers," she greeted, her voice laced with both respect and concern. "Is there a problem?" Eli nodded toward Whitman. "It seems the officer here doesn't think I look the part of a pilot." Sarah's face darkened as she turned to Whitman. "Officer Whitman, Captain Rivers is a guest of honor at today's summit. He's not only a pilot, but a leader in aviation innovation. I expect better judgment from my staff." Whitman stammered, his earlier confidence crumbling. I didn't know." "That's the problem," Melanie interjected, her voice cutting. "You didn't bother to find out." The incident, captured by countless smartphones, quickly went viral. Videos flooded social media, hashtags like #RespectRivers and #end racial profiling trending within hours. News outlets picked up the story, sparking a national conversation about bias and systemic discrimination. Eli, though visibly shaken, refused to let the encounter derail his purpose. Later that day, he stood before a packed auditorium filled with aviation leaders, journalists, and aspiring pilots. Dressed in his crisp pilot's uniform, he exuded confidence and determination. "Today's skies are shared by people from every background," Eli began, his deep voice commanding attention. "To navigate them safely and successfully, we must recognize and value the contributions of all individuals, regardless of their appearance. Bias has no place in our industry, or any industry." The audience erupted into applause, rising to their feet in a standing ovation. Melanie, seated in the front row, beamed with pride as she recorded the moment for her next article. Meanwhile, Whitman watched the event coverage from a break-room television, his expression a mix of shame and introspection. The airport administration had placed him on immediate suspension and mandated cultural sensitivity training. The footage of his confrontation with Eli played on repeat in his mind, forcing him to confront the prejudices that had shaped his actions. As the summit concluded, attendees approached Eli, offering their admiration and support. Among them was a young African-American aspiring pilot who shyly introduced himself. "Captain Rivers," he said, his voice trembling, "your story inspires me. One day I hope to make a difference like you have." Eli's stern expression softened into a warm smile. "You already are. Never let anyone define your worth. The skies belong to all of us." The incident became a catalyst for change, sparking discussions across industries about the need to address implicit biases. For Eli, the experience reaffirmed his mission to not only innovate, but also advocate for inclusivity. His story, though born of injustice, became a beacon of hope and a call to action, proving that even in the face of prejudice, resilience, and purpose could inspire transformative change. The story teaches us the importance of confronting prejudice and injustice head-on, whether it stems from racial bias or abuse of power. It reminds us to challenge stereotypes and demand accountability in all areas of life. True progress happens when individuals like Captain Raffi refuse to let discrimination silence them, choosing instead to rise above and use their experiences to inspire change. As a society, we must recognize and value diversity, fostering inclusivity and fairness in all institutions. Speak up against wrongdoing, support those fighting for justice, and remember that unity and determination can dismantle even the most entrenched systems of bias. Subscribe Undercover Insights channel for more meaningful and inspiring stories.